Hey guys, Marcinkin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so tomorrow on Global, basically, I think it's going to be, what, 14 and a half hours after this video initially goes up. We are going to have the release of the next battlefield on Global, which brings, finally, the LR HATCHIYAK, the new Battlefield LR. So we're going to take a look at his details and exactly how you obtain him, how many points he costs and everything like that, as well as have a little bit of a discussion about Battlefield LRs, what I think about them and their place in the game, and I'm interested to know what you guys think as well. So HATCHIYAK is a giant form leader for 3 key and 130%. You know, a giant form is a bit of a wonky category, but for a free-to-play leader, not too bad. Raise defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, and raise extreme class allies attack by 20% for 1 turn is his 12 key super attack effect. And then the 18 key, raise attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage, and raise extreme class allies attack by 30% for 1 turn. Now, the thing about this, right, like if he gets an additional super, not only is he getting a second defense raise for the turn, but his 18 key super is raising allies attack by 30%. And then his additional super is raising their attack by 20%. So if this guy's in slot 1 and gets an additional super attack, the other 2 extreme units on your rotation are getting a 50% attack buff, which is certainly a significant number, right? And then his passive is 3 key attack and defense 80%. He gets an additional attack and defense 100% within the same turn after receiving an attack. He reduces damage received by 20%. And gets an additional damage reduction of 20% and gives extreme class allies 3 key when there is a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan enemy. So he's a unit that you ideally do want to run in slot 1, right, for that support on his super attack effect. But in slot 1 he's got 80% defense. If you have the right enemy, he has 40% damage reduction, and then when he gets hit, he gets an extra 100% defense. So he definitely is one of those units where you kind of have to grit your teeth and hope that the first attack that he takes isn't the super. Then he gets hit, gets the defense buff, and then he's got that big extra chunk of defense. Without a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan enemy, I mean 20% damage reduction is okay, but it kind of depends, right, on how hard exactly he's getting hit. And all of that is going to factor in his overall defensive power. I mean, he just, again, is one of those units that if the first attack is a super, very unfortunate, he's going to take a lot more damage, right? Then he does have the giant form active skill. So it's an active skill, not like a transformation that occurs when you're below a certain amount of HP or something like that. Can be activated when facing a pure or hybrid Saiyan enemy with no turn restriction, so that is pretty good. Or when HP is 80% or less, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. This is actually a very easy condition to meet, right? Like if you're playing any of the harder events, by turn 5, chances are, unless you've healed and are on full health, you probably are going to be sat at around 80% or less. So that can be pretty good. And he transforms into the giant form. His giant form ability, he has the greatly raise attack temporarily destructive damage on the 12 key, massively raise attack temporarily destructive damage on the 18 key, and then his passive is key plus 3, so obviously giant form characters, they don't get any links active or anything like that, so them getting key is really good. And then he also changes key spheres of a random type, not tech, to tech, so that is really good, right? He's getting 3 key, so on a normal leader skill team where it's 3 key from both leaders, he's going to start off at 6, then he gets 3, so he's at 9. So you still need 9 key to get his 18 key super, but he is creating tech orbs. Now, obviously for tech orbs giving you 2, you need to get 5 orbs at a minimum. So it's going to rely on the RNG, right, to how likely you are to then get those orbs, but getting the 18 key, obviously very good. And then of course if he additionals, he's greatly raising attack temporarily on the 12 key, so he's doing extra damage as you do super attacks. There's no way for him to do additionals or anything in his passive, so you can get the hidden potential additional, but that is all. So taking a look at his kit and what he does overall, I think additional definitely is the way to go for this guy, right? Because you want to get that extra super, not only for the extra defense raise, but the extra buff to your allies. He has to receive an attack to get his extra defense though. So this is one of those units that I'd have to think about it, right, when it comes to giving him dodge as one of his primary abilities, because if you put him in slot 1, he dodges a normal attack and then gets supered. He didn't get that extra 100% defense because he didn't get hit. Right, so that's something you have to think about. So I think additional is probably best for one of his primary abilities. I think maybe, would I go dodge or crit for the secondary? I mean, crit, he's probably not on the team to do damage, right? You're kind of using him as a defensive support unit. But again, like I say, you kind of don't want too much dodge. It's an interesting one for this guy. However, of course, the problem, which we can talk about, I guess, very briefly now before we go into the details of picking up this unit, is the fact that as a Battlefield LR, we are only going to be able to get one copy of him. So he's only going to be at 55%. So me talking about the best hidden potential for him, I mean, essentially it's irrelevant for now for global players because he's going to be 55%. He's going to have level 5 crit. Then you get the bronze and the silver slot equipped, but you can't unlock the gold one. So you can give him a little bit of the extra abilities, but not exactly a huge enough amount that's going to make it, like, you're not giving him a full build yet, right, while he's at 55%. So I would probably imagine the best build to start off with when you just have the one copy is to give him a bronze defense orb and then a silver additional orb, right? So he has that chance to get an additional super, because otherwise he has nothing in his passive to give him an additional. Now he does have big bad bosses, which is good. Berserker is a pretty terrible link. Tough as nails. I mean, some units have it that can be good. Hatred of Saiyans is good for like baby characters. Fear and Faith is a good link. Transform, legendary power. He actually does share a few links with the Int Piccolo Jr. and can be run on his team, so that's kind of interesting. He's on Giant Form, Artificial Life Forms, Revenge, and Crossover. So he gets added to the Battlefield shop tomorrow when the update comes out. He costs 420,000 Battlefield memories. So on Global, there hasn't really been anything to spend your Battlefield memories on for a while. I'm pretty sure I have enough that if they added all of the copies, I would be able to buy all of them. But you can only get one. And this goes back to what I was saying, right, about Battlefield LRs. I mean, even on JP, if the wiki is up to date here, it says it's still limited to 4 times on JP. So when did he come out? November 2022 on JP. Jeez, so this unit is almost a year old on JP, and we're only now getting our first copy, and JP still can't rainbow this unit. And that is, I think, the biggest problem with these Battlefield units, is this Hatchiyak, maybe he could be quite good if you could just rainbow him straight away. But at 55%, I mean, how is he going to stand up versus like Sin, versus Metal Cooler Core? Broly, at least he has type advantage. And then, of course, you have to think that on Global, we are going to get the new hardest event in the game, which is the Omega Shenron stage of the Shadow Dragon event. We will get that in December. By then, we'll be lucky if we can get one extra copy of this guy. So is a 69% LR Hatchiyak going to be good against Omega, who I'm pretty sure his final phase is in, right? So this guy has type disadvantage. You're probably not going to want to be putting him in slot 1 to get hit and get this minor buff and then buff your ally's attack, because he's probably going to get killed, right? You probably just don't run. He's not facing a pure hybrid Saiyan in that event. So he does unfortunately seem to fall into that category of a few of these extreme units that have come out recently, where if we do start getting some more difficult content where we're actually fighting the heroes and fighting pure Saiyans and hybrid Saiyans, then this guy's obviously going to look a lot better. I mean, I guess Broly is like the ideal event for this guy, right? Type advantage at the end, you're fighting a pure Saiyan, so that's going to be pretty good. But I mean, Broly, whilst it is still one of the tough events in the game, most people have beaten it, right? And if you're trying to beat any of the special category missions or anything like that, I don't think this guy is on any of the ones that you need to do, except if you're trying to do like an extreme team that has one unit of each typing. And even then, there are better tech options, right? So I do think this weird format, that the way they do the Battlefield LRs, is really strange. This is obviously, like I say, coming out tomorrow with the new Dokkan Clash. On the list, you can see here, it was added to JP with the 57th one. Our numbers are a little bit out of order. You can see here when you look at the lists, right? Like, Global got the Dabura for the 27th, but JP got it on the 26th. These last couple were one behind. So the way this looked on JP is we obviously had the break with the anniversary special Battlefield, but we have gone back to the format that it was before, where Broly is the final boss at the end, and Broly is going to be AGL. So I have done a couple of those videos when Broly's typing has changed, just talking about the best units to take him on with, because obviously he can be sealed and attack lowered. So, but I mean, with him being AGL, if he is still AGL, the best team probably just going to be straight up Super Tech, right? Considering how busted Super Tech movie heroes and stuff is. but this is what it's going to change to. I will be doing the new Battlefield live on stream tomorrow when it drops. So obviously my early streams usually are all at the same time. They go live about half an hour before the time slot where this content will be dropping. So I will be live tomorrow to play through the new Battlefield and get the copy of the new Hatchiyak. Probably try him out. I will do a 55% showcase for him tomorrow so we can kind of see where he's at. But it is just wild to me, this idea that, like, even now, almost a year later on JP, you still can't rainbow this unit, which means on global, we're going to get to like the 9th anniversary next year and this guy still won't be rainbowed. So imagine if the 9th anniversary brings the same kind of power creep that the red zone brought when it came out for the 7th anniversary. This guy's just going to end up being useless, essentially. By the time he's rainbowed, he's just not going to be any good, which is a bit of a shame, because like looking at his kit, and for a free-to-play LR, he definitely has some very interesting things, but if he can't be rainbowed for, you know, a year from now, he's probably not going to get an easy A for at least another year or so after that. So then we're looking at a unit that's basically being introduced to global tomorrow, but maybe will be usable in like 2025, which is kind of crazy, right? Like if you're free to play, you want these free to play units to be strong enough to help you beat some of the harder events that you can't do. Not to say they're going to go in and just solo the whole thing by themselves, but I genuinely feel like even though the amount of Battlefield points that they cost would obviously be a lot more if you're buying all the copies at the same time, I genuinely don't understand why they add these guys into the game and don't just give you all 5 copies available straight away. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you interested to see what LR Hatchiyak will be doing? Let me know your thoughts, like I say, about the Battlefield LRs and how they handle their releases into the game. I know Mecha Freezer and King Cold just got their Easy A on JP, and most people are pretty disappointed. So as we were just saying, right, imagine how long it's going to be till this guy gets an Easy A from when he first come out. Imagine waiting all that time and then his Easy A is mid. Like, really strange how they handle these Battlefield LRs. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like I said, I will be live for the new Battlefield when it comes out, so hopefully I will see you guys at the early stream. And yeah, just let me know all your thoughts about Hatchiyak and Battlefield LRs down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.